Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Mhm.
Claudia, Stefan, Eva, happy to see you all on this Confluence, which is an event, a talk uh, dedicated to feeding back about the WALC project, the Walking Arts and Local Communities project, which brings together a series of people and partners from Portugal, Spain, France, Greece, Belgium, and we uh, are supported, co-funded by the European Union in this Creative Europe program, for which we are grateful and acknowledging their support. As well, we would like to let you know that this conversation is recorded, so if you don't want to appear on the video, you have now the chance to disappear in image. We hope you will stay listening. We are now 2.5 years in this project, which is actually about relations. It's much about walking arts and how walking arts and local communities with each other intersect out of various approaches from various territories and from various people with an impressive curriculum and a state of work behind them. And tonight we will listen to Clara, who will introduce to us her um, Grand Tour, the nomadic collective journey through the territory of Catalonia for 1 month, spanning 300 kilometers every year. This year in parts, and she has brought Eva Marichalar Freixa with her to talk more about this journey. But before we go to Clara, I would like to report a bit back about other activities that in WALC are happening, which all are about community, bringing people together. And one of these bringing together was around an online course in the last month, starting in February, up to now last Saturday, in weekly meetings, sessions, talks, and walks together. We brought together over 450 people from 66 countries. It is much based on working together, not only learning together and from each other. So now we are going to summer break, and then we will continue with even more practice-based series of activities, which are called the online workshops, although it may sound a bit ironical, even contradictory, to have online courses and online workshops about walking. But still, it offers an opportunity to work together with people that are from far away, from remote places where you normally may not be be able to work together with or getting to know. So that's our main idea. And these online workshops we will organize will start on September 19 and will uh, go over a month from 19 to 26 September and to 3 and 10 October. I will specifically look and continue the part that we have concluded with, which was about walking and the digital age, which is not about the digital in itself per se, but about how our times and how walking art today is more than relevant than ever. Uh, Using these digital tools, with these very simple digital tools, to let people walk together when they are in different territories and places, and to work together through what we call mapping and locative media, creating walks that can be uh, experienced on distance and still walking together. This will be really about working together, learning each other's territories and each places, each other creative practice. And that's why we keep the number of people small, 36, which will be divided in 6 groups of 6, preferably people from various backgrounds and disciplines, because we see walking today, of walking arts today, as much more than walking, but as extending to many fields, disciplines, and actually a whole series of philosophies, ideas, and applications. So this will be centered around 4 workshops. The first one will be about mapping, the collaborative mapping, how mapping can be more than just representing um, things or marking places on a map, but be a place of imagination and of creation. And how can this even be more interesting if you are working together on maps? Um, then the second workshop will be about the digital body, how the body can be extended, how by the digital, how the digital is not seen in this approach as something that excludes the senses, but that actually makes it possible to go deeper into our environment. They're followed by a session about locative media. Locative media are the tools that allow you to use mobile devices to walk around, like in audio guides or augmented reality, and add a layer of information, but also of artistic content on the existing territory, just like Lewis Carroll was talking about. The Chinese emperor that ordered to his map maker a map as big as his country. Locative media actually allow this finally to make a map that you can roll all over the all over the country, and you can walk it the map as much as you can look at it. Then, last but not least, our times, our digital times, is an ecological time. How contradictory this may sound. And ecologies, relations are what defines contemporary art today, and more than contemporary art. And walking is one of the means that is going deepest in understanding, in being with nature. And that will be explored in the last session in October 10th after 4. Very provoking and at the same time inviting to rethink your practice. The whole idea of these workshops is not information, it's relation. It's bringing people together, people that are from a field that you may never have worked together with, or that is not yours. At the same time, people from places all over the world, bringing together cultures and perceptions that also are not usual to where you live, places that you may discover and where you can that are brought together, creating what we call actually small networks, nodes of people, more nodes than networks, but nodes are going much more in depth and want to explore how creation can bring us together without losing the identity of the place where you are working. The gaming or games are really crucial in our approach. Play is more than ever needed today. So in these workshops, we will explore how play or gaming can connect us more and connect us more with our environment, even if we are not in the same space. And for the workshops, we have developed a mapping platform, an own software, which is another important approach we have in WALC, that we work with European or self-developed technologies that take distance from these big companies, data companies, exploratory and extractive companies by or working with smaller initiatives or with own technology that we developed that is ethically relevant and because cultural cooperation is much more than just using tools to collaborate, it's also applying the cooperation in the sense that we respect what is around us. Then an example of a project that Fred, who is with me and will answer your questions in a moment, he developed a project that may inspire and may give you an idea of what is possible with these media. It's a locative sound cloud, a cloud of voices, voices of refugees, people that arrived in France in this small village of Ruffec, that tell about what hospitality means for them. So while walking in this small village, it's like there's hanging a cloud of voices over you that is telling you in many languages and many stories about hospitality. So bringing these two worlds of people that come from far, arrive, and being in the place together. And that sort of dialogues we will be exploring. For that, we have developed this collaborative map where you, in groups of 6, can work together on places, but as well on topics that you will define together. But at the same time, this map is not only something you can see on your computer, it's also an app. So you can open it on your phone, and then it suddenly transforms into an audio media guide that plays contents, shows texts, plays music, videos, photographs on certain places activated by your presence. And that exactly that, playing again between distance and being close, being in two places at the same time, is something I would like to invite you to play with, because everything is about playing, discovering. It's not about technology in itself, but about the whole potential of technology to bring people together that are not together in the same place, and allowing us, as a phone allows us to connect with people very far away, this technology allows us to be in two places at the same time. The other thing we explore and have explored in the course is walking together on distance via synchronized walks using the apps, chat apps, to exchange videos, photographs, audios, messages while you're walking in different places around the world. So we will do this again, walking together, connected by these apps. And again, we will invite you to discover the ecosystems, the biological and ecological value of the places where the other people are through a game, where you will be able to exchange the ecosystem, the plant and animal life, and the stories that they tell to others. Now, ecological intelligence, we always bring it as an alternative for artificial intelligence. So for us, working in the 21st century with walking arts has much to do with a way of being intelligence that involves ecology, and where the land or nature is our teacher. And that is a topic we will certainly go very deep in. Now, you will not only be able to work together with a group of people from around the world. Like we said, we have now a network, a community of walking artists and walking creatives out of 66 countries, really from all continents except Antarctica. And we will try to facilitate this by giving you easy to use technologies. But in the first place, it's about getting to know each other and really create walking projects together. That will be some of them will be selected for an exhibition in Thessaloniki, which will be as well the final walk exhibition, bringing all the experiences, approaches, and works and walks that happened during these 4 years together. We have a course page. If you type in the walk course, you will come on that page. You can also scan the QR code that you see next to it, which gives you more information, and also a form that you can fill out, and then we'll come back to you with more information about what is next. So we hope to have stirred your interest in these workshops and moments to be together with walkers from around the world. And that concludes our short presentation about what is ahead in WALC, which brings together the digital and the physical. And going from the digital, we go really to the other end of the spectrum, which is Clara, who is 300 kilometers physically going embedded with the feet on the ground uh, through the landscape of Catalonia. And she is not doing this alone as well. She's doing it in a group of people. And for that reason, Clara has brought us Eva to tell about their joint steps in the Grand Tour. So I'll let Clara tell you more about what is coming up as well towards the end of the summer in a physical and beautiful walk together.
I always say that slides are beautiful, but we are more beautiful than slides. And some slides it's okay, but first is ours. So hello everybody. I think we are more or less in family. That many of you know quite well what is Grand Tour after so many years of spreading the news and the good news. This travel that is going, this walk that is going to happen for the 12th time this summer. And that normally is walking 300 kilometers in 3 weeks. And that this year has been splitted. For the first time in 12 years, we have cut the travel into 2+1 different walks. Why? Well, for many reasons. One, because we wanted to go back to the some of the nicest places where we had been these 12 years. And two, because we wanted to enjoy the hosts, the wonderful hosts that we have had. Because sometimes these hosts were expected, and when the travel was going to be prepared, we had met them, but many times these hosts were completely surprising, and we didn't expect that they were so fantastic, and we only spent 1 or 2 nights with them. So some of them have become friends, some of them have become collaborator artists and activists, and that's why we decided to repeat at least 2 or 3 of the walks that we have been doing during these 12 years. So maybe we have no time to speak about all 3, but know that I will explain to you, me and Eva will explain to you the first and the second. I will also explain a little bit of the second. Maybe there is no time for the third. I have some slides. We will start by the first, which is in August, 23, 31st of August. And we are going back to the Oriental Pyrenees, not all the travel we did in 2016, but a big, huge part of it. It is in the French side, but we are all the time going by the border. We will start in a very artistic village, the village of Serret. And then, as you will see, we go more and more to the wild somehow. This is some photos of what our travel in 2016. No, in 2016. This is Amélie-les-Bains, a bath station that has changed a lot during these years. Here you can see the stream, the source of hot water that now is not anymore there. Everything has been privatized. It's a shame, but it is like this. And slowly, we are going to the mountains, and we are approaching also the French border until we arrive to the top of the mountain, and then there we pass to the Spanish border, and we will be doing in the Spanish side, the highest place of these Oriental Pyrenees, which is the high valley of the river Ter and the valley of Nuria, which is very emblematic because it's a place very much visited by the Catalan people. Here you have some photos. This is a very famous path from Rivas to Nuria. And this is one of the activities that we did at that time. Still at that time, we used to do a lot of shows, a lot of performances in unexpected places of the walk in the nature. But now, as you know, we are a step forward, and we are more doing things with people and improvising than showing specific shows or specific performances in the path. But this was a particularly beautiful and interesting activity because this man, José Manuel Berenguer, prepared a road, a path in the river of Nuria, in the rivulet of Nuria, to be walked with earphones and explaining about why the sounds of the water were different here and there, and what was happening for physical reasons, and also for soundscape reasons and musical reasons. And then in the end of the walk, we found him that was playing the guitar in this place. Here you have more images of this beautiful place called Nou Creus, which is in the divisory of France and Spain, in the highest place of the Oriental Pyrenees. And this is what is going to be where we are going to finish the first walk of this grand tour. And before going to the second, I want to explain you some things else. There will be some, as usual, some occasional invited artists in different places, and one invited artist that is the most important invited artist in every travel. And in this case, we have entrusted this to the collective Deriva Mussol. Deriva Mussol is a collective of 4 members, in which you can count Jordi Lafon and Monsita Rierola, that are friends of the family because they have been also in Guimarães in Portugal. And they have been as a collective, and this is the first time we do that as a collective, are the artists that will give some architecture, give some form to this first part of the Grand Tour. And to speak about that, and also because she will be in charge of the library of Grand Tour, I have proposed Eva to come and to explain to you something, some ideas, some spots, some glimpses of what she is thinking about all this. Only to say, for those that don't know, that Grand Tour travels with a library, and that this library has 2 meanings, very important. One is the essential normal function of a library. So there are books, and these books are meant to read. But more important than that is the fact that the library is composed by the books that bring all the workers. The workers bring each one book, and somehow this bringing the book and explaining why they have brought the book and what this book is important for the collective library stands in the place of the identity of the participant. So instead of being Peter that works in this and that, or that has been artist for this and that, or teaches in this and that university, the words said that I have brought this book for you, and it is important for you for this and for that. And third, and also very important, this library stands as an object and as a totem, because we are a community, we are moving during many days. We don't have a place, but wherever we go, we put our library, and the library has a presence that is communitary. So it is a very important object and documental tool. So I will give the words now to Eva, that is thinking, that is a member of Deriva Mussol, and that is thinking specifically about this library, which is crucial, very important for Grand Tour. Eva.
Thank you.
Endavant.
Thank you, Clara, and thank you to everybody for being here. I'm very happy to see some faces I know and that we don't get to see each other as much as I wish or as we wish. As Clara said, I am co-founder of Deriva Mussol together with Jordi. We started the adventure back in 2012. And along the way, late Aina Roca, who's not anymore with us, joined in Deriva Mussol, as well as Munsita, that you know very well, and Sebastian, that I think that you know very well as well. And all together, especially Munsita and Jordi, are taking care of this edition along with Clara. Clara, correct me if I'm not if I'm wrong. And I'm joining in as Deriva Mussol. I don't know if everybody knows about Deriva Mussol. I don't know if you've been going through our work at some point, if I need to say something or you would like me to explain a couple of things, or I simply invite you to check our website. I am posting it here in the chat. If you all go to the chat, you'll get the link, derivamussol.net. And here you can now or at your own pace take a look at our work. Our website works merely as an archive. At the moment we are updating the last actions. You will see that we have by now more than 100 actions. It's been a while now. And some of them are longer. Like Grand Tour is a huge part of our life and a very important one. So Deriva Mussol has been joining in, not only as Deriva Mussol, but also one thing that is important, I must say, is that since we started with Deriva Mussol, our walking practices and our love, I would say love for the reef and for drifting is what brought us together. And along these years, no matter if we've been doing actions as Deriva Mussol or as Jordi, as Munsita, as Eva, or we've considered that anything that we did in our life that had to do with walking and the reef, which has been a lot for all of us, would also be part of Deriva Mussol, no matter if we were planning it together or not. So the limits of Deriva Mussol are very, I would say, very, com es diu permeable? Permeable? Can you use that word in English? So, and I would like, and we would like to present us this way, because this is what brought us to Grand Tour. This is what brought us to create this, it's not a net, but a weave, or, and what I'm going to say now has to do with what I'm going to say about the library. What is very important for us is all these threshold and all these spaces that we don't see at first sight, but that bring us together. And that's why I say weaving. So since we met Clara, Jordi and Monsita knew Clara much before I did. But when we met Clara by walking and by drifting and by Grand Tour, since then, this has, how can I explain this? You can afterwards or during ask me questions to help me to explain this better, because it's something not tangible, but you will understand, because I don't know most of you, but for sure you are having these experiences when you meet people, and this happens not only by walking, but now we are talking about walking. When you create a space by a gesture, and this gesture now is the walking. When you create a space by a daily life gesture, that would be cooking as well. So again, walking. Drifting is also a daily life gesture. You find a family along the way of people who is also into this daily gesture. And this is what has been joining Grand Tour for us, because sometimes we've been there as Deriva Mussol. We're always there as Deriva Mussol, and we're always there as Eva and Jordi and Monsita. So, and I can say the same with you, for instance, Natasha and Gert, and I know that Monsita and Jordi got the chance to be with you, Natasha, in Portugal. And even if I wasn't there, I also feel like that I was a part of the whole experience. And even all of you that I'm not seeing, not even in the screen, I'm just seeing names that I don't know, people that we haven't met. It's like, hey, we are a bunch of people that truly feel that this gesture is much more than the practical one. And this is what has brought us to Grand Tour. This is what Clara has also created along all these years, and the borders between what is Grand Tour, what is Deriva Mussol, what is my practice, or what is any of you practice, blend and disappear. Sometimes are clear, sometimes are not. So Deriva Mussol is joining this edition. Jordi and Monsita are creating and more in charge of the whole concept, organization, and along with Clara. And I joined in very excited as the librarian, which it's not something little for me, but it's again another threshold of my practice. Along the years, I've understood that the common thing that I create, or the same thing that appears no matter what I do in my life, no matter, sometimes I am a teacher, sometimes I facilitate situations, sometimes I create as an artist, and very often I help people out with ideas, learning processes. So I do some also pedagogical work. But all of these different activities or professional dedication, you could say, all of them have one thing in common, is that I'm always interested in the threshold spaces, the liminal spaces, those spaces that are in between, and all these spaces that, because they are in between, they're also a possibility of beginning. So I would say that a threshold, in Catalan, we have a very beautiful word, which is llindar, and is this part of the door, the doors, and have, when you go through a door, but when you stand under, you are no here, no there, but everything is possible, and at the same time, you can connect a lot of people, situations, and you can go there, you can go there, and it's this in between. And for me, walking and books are a threshold space. That's why I love the reef. That's why I love being in places and creating situations where things, to create the conditions so things emerge. And walking is, I've understood along the years that that's why I was so interested since the very beginning. I started with my practice, and why I brought it in the school. I was working for 5 years. That's another topic for another day, probably. Clara knows about this, or you can read about it very shortly in my bio that I've uploaded today for you, for WALC Listen Create. That I've always been interested in these spaces. Clara has told you about the library being a totem. And I'm starting, because we are having this meeting in the moment where I'm starting to finally setting everything up. So many things that I say now might change. So the direction is, and they probably will change, because I do things on the go. I do things on the move and by walking. And at the moment, this totem, I'm interested in this totem and books and libraries as a totem, but also as a totem that can emerge, that is waiting to emerge, and that is not necessarily always visible or tangible. And also, I'm very interested in taking care of those books and those parts of the library that we cannot think of at the moment, and that we will meet along the way. It's not only to leave everything on fate. It is everything has to do with fate or chance, atzar in Catalan, which is, I think it's much concrete, atzar. It's not only about that. It's also about things are already there, ready to happen, ready to emerge, and we just are going towards the encounter. So we will be encountering books, and with this idea, I need some more talks with you, Clara, at least 1 or 2, maybe 1, because I also want to take care of the narrative of this library. This library, as Clara has told you, has had a story and will continue. And also just to listen about this story and finding out what it turns to be. So just to finish, as I said, walking and books for me are threshold situations. And also situations that open all of the possibilities to create and to talk and to walk on the same and decide where are you going while in the presence of the moment. Clara, you know me much better. We've been talking a lot. I don't know if you think that maybe I left out something important, or I'm just aware of the time. It's 9:45. Your 9, no, my 9, our 9, Clara 9. And so we still have 15 minutes left, so I shut up.
Okay, well, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be wonderful. The trip is full already. We don't have more spots. We are 20, and we decided last year not overcome the quantity of 20 workers, because once we pass from over 20, then the split of the groups and the communication becomes slower. The previous years, sometimes we were 25, 28, but it was only for 2 days, 3 days. But this year we have asked everybody to attend to the full travel. So everybody will be there from the first day to the last, and 20 is a lot. So this travel is full. The travel in Aragon is not full, and it is also amazing. We have about, not much, but about 5 or 6 more slots free. And it's going to be from the 2nd to the 9th of September. So if anyone is thinking of coming to Grand Tour, you have the opportunity of coming to that one. Apart from, it's a completely different place, a completely different group. The group that is forming now is much more international. And also the place is a place that is nearly empty, that was completely abandoned by the population that could not earn their lives and survive there. And it now is very slowly being repopulated by very brave people that do things that are completely different than the usual or the consumist or the commercial ones, like, for example, playing puppets, theater, or, for example, cultivating herbal medicinal plants, things like this. So it's a very beautiful place, a little lower than the Pyrenees that are very high in this area, and that was on a time full of sheep and muttons and animals. Now is very empty. It's a place for silence also. And for this second travel, I am thinking, but we will see what can we do, because from the point of view of practical, from the point of view of budget, this is a very difficult year. But now I'm very fascinated with oral tradition. I am reading the Mahabharata, which is an Indian book that has 7,000 pages. I think I started in September. I read every day, and I think I will finish next year. And this is the first time I have faced an real oral narration. And the structure of the book lets you feel how different it is to hear than to read. How different is the information when it is passing and has to pass from one to one, or from one to a group and to generations. How different it is if it of something that stays in a writing, it stays in a book, and gives individuals the opportunity of taking the book and reading and knowing what is in there of themselves. So it's a completely different way of transmitting information, transmitting knowledge, and creating communities. And I am now doing some research how to create an oral library. but I am not sure that I will reach September on time to set this oral library, because I would need some more expertise. So we will see. In any case, this is also going to be a very beautiful travel. We did it on 2023, just after the COVID. And it was such a surprise, because it's a place that is not very famous, that, well, I am very happy to come back there. In difference with the Pyrenees walk, in this other walk, there is very few people of the old Grand Tours, because in the Pyrenees walk, we know all each other. There are, I think, only one or two persons that don't know the other, but the ones that have registered on Pyrenees are all friends. Well, friends, we have become friends along the years of working together, because the strange thing is that we don't meet not a single time during the year, and we go and meet again in this walking in Grand Tour. And on the contrary, the Aragon travel has only 2 or 3 persons that have come earlier, and it will be a meeting among people that don't know each other, which is also a very beautiful situation, but a very different one. And if the things are as they are presented, maybe we will have people from many places, so from many places of Europe. So it's going to be also with diversity of languages that would enhance this potential of the oral library, and we will see. In any case, as I said, there are some 4 or 5 slots there still, if anyone wants to come, or if you have friends that have told you, oh yes, I want to go to the Grand Tour one day, this is the moment. I won't speak about the 3rd Grand Tour, because it is still in preparation. It should be in the Ebro River Delta, and it should be in October. But it is also now depending a lot on budgets, and because this, as I said, is a very strange year, kind of year in which apparently, officially, there is a lot of wealth, a lot of money, but in the reality there is nothing. So we will see if we will have October, but who knows? Let's cross fingers. Maybe yes. In any case, this is a little bit of everything, and now we have still 10 minutes if you want to ask some questions or to comment. Maybe, Eva, you want to comment something else? I don't know.
Now, if people have questions, maybe it's a good moment.
Will you bring some animals' voices and sounds in your oral library, Clara?
It would be fantastic. It would be fantastic. Fred, these days I am walking at 6 in the morning because it's very hot here. And with Merlin up, Merlin, the one to identify the sounds of the birds, I'm learning so much, because I knew a lot, but I had always used Merlin from my home. So the birds were always the same, because these are the birds of the medium that are here. And now at 6 in the morning in the woods, the birds are completely different. So at least that will be there. But maybe you can help us to have some more resources.
Yeah, and I see also that the Deriva Mussol, Mussol is an owl in Catalan, right?
Yes, yes. Well,
You can tell us a
said.
little bit about that?
Why? Well, the name of Deriva Mussol is a very good. How did we get to this name? Is a very good example of what interests us the most, and it has absolutely all to do with drifting and with the derive. This is because on the very first day that we decided to meet to go for a stroll. It was February the 1st, 2012, and we decided to meet at 10 o'clock at night because that seemed to be the only time that we all could make it after work and everything. And a group of people joined us. In fact, it was a group, the big part of the group was university students. And the very first moment we met at 10 o'clock, it started snowing. We decided to not cancel, which has been forevermore. We never cancel. We only cancel if it's dangerous, if we've got an alert in our mobile. But if not, even if it rains, it can rain a lot. No matter what happens, we just do what we are supposed to do, which is walking. So we kept the stroll, the reef, and at some point we walked across the house of a colleague who was at that time directing my master's degree that I was already doing in walking. By the way, Jordi Lafont is writing his PhD now on walking and Deriva Mussol. And at that time, I was interested in learning what happens when the pedagogical impact of a group of people strolling for some months together. So that first day, we ended up walking by the house of the colleague that was leading my master's degree. And I told the people, hey, look, here is Anna, and she's the one that will direct this research of mine. And I wanted to say hello to her. We knocked the door, we waved, and she invited us. She said, what are you doing? It's very cold, it's snowing, come in. So we ended up in her flat, a bunch of students and us and people from the university and outside the university, and all in her quite small living room as normal. And it was a very interesting evening with an authentic impact of what was about to come, which is all of these derive situations that surprise you. And she has a huge collection of owls. So we decided that we would name ourselves as the Owls. It was a joke. Like we said, okay, so we are the Owls without Deriv, not Deriva Mussol, but just Mussol. And at that moment, we got some budget for these months to stroll together. And at the end of it, we showed, we perform. We did a performative narration of these months, and we called this performative narration Deriva Mussol. And after that, Jordi and I decided to go on, and we just went on with Deriva Mussol. So it's not poetic. Well, it is poetic, yes. But owls happen to have a lot of connections with our work, but we didn't conceptualize the thing.
Also, I would add that we are not only going to have Deriva Mussol in this walk. We are having Azu Momo, who is a choreographer, poet, and movement writer, and she will be throughout all the travel. Marc Caellas, who is a writer, and he also will be throughout the travel. And he decided to play with divination and with tarot cards and things like this. And also Ramon Villegas, who is a cinema and video maker and also an actor, and that will share with us a very specific work that has to do with his family, his grandfather, in a very specific place where everything happened with his ancestors. So, and also, these are the artists that have been invited, but in the group of 20 people, there is a lot of artists too. So, as always happens, things go on the go, and we every day have something different in the evenings, while we walk, when we eat in the mornings, etc.
Thank you very much, Clara. We are approaching 9 o'clock. We will have to wrap up, but not without saying um, another story about an amazing walker by foot. Evliya Celebi was a man from Turkey who walked for 40 years from 1620 to 1670, and he visited more than 600 cities. Now and then he used a donkey as well, but we will forgive him for that. And he told actually something that I remembered when after the conversation I had this Sunday with a dear colleague, and he said on a quite negative, denigrating way, "Oh, all the projects you do, you only do them with friends." And actually, the thing is that the people I work with are indeed friends, but they became friends along the road, along the walking. And that was exactly what Evliya Celebi, who wrote 40 books about his walking travels, really worth checking them out, said as well. The most important that I have learned through all my long walkings are that by traveling, you make friends. So I think that is maybe something we really can take with us from the Grand Tour. And what you have to experience. Again, walking is one of the things you can only experience by doing it. So go to the Grand Tour in Catalonia, in Aragon, and to the other mystery, the place that we will hear about very soon. So really, thank you all for being here.